likes as we get ready for what could be, and I surprised myself in saying so already, but what could be our final map of the best of 5. Should Mousesports get off to a good start and win another pistol? Yet to be determined, as they will start on the T side yet again. So at least the knife round's going Navi's way for whatever that's worth. Rop's already inside A main.
Molotov deployed towards the upper ramp just so they can get full control. It's going to be Carrigan just suggesting they're heading towards inside, but Perfecto, that's almost a perfect smoke. They have to push through that, no choice, and he's going to get the first headshot. That might dissuade them now. After such a convincing kill there, they're going to have to wait towards the Ivy position. Carrigan, I don't think he gets the headshot this time. Looks good for a pistol. In favor of Navi, yet to pick one up as we enter the third map here.
Rob's backs away, P250. Carrigan's smokes were all for naught. That was a ruse, but it was already spotted, as you mentioned, by Perfecto at Ivy, so they knew this was going to come to A. And it's come back to a 3-on-3. Rumich gets himself on the board with 2, finds Frozen as well toward Olaf, and that means bomb down. He'll close on the last, finding Voxic off to a great start. And Train yesterday, he was in incredible form in the 8-0 start against Godsent.
Well, there it is. The first pistol finally comes through. You saw Carrigan suggesting they were going towards inner, and that's a smart approach because we've said it a few times this tournament. I've been saying it for years. Most teams will be favoring towards that B bomb side, the T pistol. You guarantee the plant. A Molotov and a couple of flashbangs. That's pretty convincing. You can see that at the start of a round. They go towards Ivy, but Perfecto spots them, drops that important smoke, slows it right down, and it falls apart. But here comes the force by Voxic. Rattles off a shot towards Connector. Takes a little bit of damage from the grenades here. And these other rounds that Navi have been giving up a lot. Against the Deagles, and he's up. His enthusiasm somewhat there. Flamey beats down the Ivy. They lose the first 2 picks again, but starting to stabilize now as Boomich with the MP9 doing solid work towards that popped up position. Looks like things are under control here. Got a bit dicey at one point, but we're going to have Frozen left in a 3-on-1 with just 19 points of health.
Attempt from Frozen to get the headshot, not successful. And that gives away his position as well. They're going to sneak in behind. Not quite. They're going to hold over toward the E-box instead. 2-man position. No real chance he's going to suspect they would be there. Why would they have 2 in this position in the open? But at the same time, they weren't. Okay, they are. It looked for a second like Electronic was actually gambling and looking away. That would have been a problem considering, like I say, they heard that first shot. So Navi off to a much better start. Finally an early lead.
Should be the 3-0 locked in at this point. But whenever I say that, Matt, something strange happens. Something unexpected will go down. And we'll see whether they have anything at all. Should just be Glocks. We have a couple of Deagles there. That's for Carrigan and Robs. We saw what Carrigan did with the Desert Eagle on Inferno. Helped himself to a round with 2 beautiful headshots. A couple of MP9s here. Good chance to farm some cash. I like this from Simple as well. He knows they've got pretty much nothing. At least no helmets. He can keep the USP and get the AWP out early going into that next round. But you do want the MP9s to be fragging hard here. Electronic knows it as well. $600 per kill. There's the first. $1,200 gathered so far for Navi.
Boomich trying to find better positioning. No one presenting opportunity as it was yesterday. Look at the flank, though. His teammate, Electronic, that's a lot of noise. I think he's heard. Bomb's down. Christie knows he's there and makes no mistake with the Deagle. It would have been such a scalp to find the bomb in that position and get away with it, but they're still going to be aggressive and relentless onto Chris. And Perfecto knows that he's gone around the bathrooms. Again, a bit hesitant. He has an M4. He's up against nothing. I know he wants to keep the gun, but at that point, Chris is already tagged and on low HP. Just finish it off.
Get it done. Well, there we go. Round confirmed, lots of money in the bank. Mousesports will bring their first gun round out now. They've got an eclectic array of strategies here. Fast-paced executions, fakes for sure. Mousesports will have a fake, and Boomich taking, is that a shot in the back of the head?
Yep, taking out the windows, and for absolutely no reason, he's clipped his teammate on the head.
A USB or something? I don't know what's happened there. Good incendiary, at least to do damage. Carrigan might burn to a crisp here. 28, and down he goes.
I don't understand the reason. I guess he wants to hold Olaf so they can't push up in return, but there's no smoke on top of that, and he steps into it with it spreading to the corner.
He's been doing this the last few months. He's the one that goes towards main entrance. He normally extinguishes the Molotov and gets himself towards Olaf.
Right.
A little bit apprehensive this time, though. I think he was maybe flashed and wasn't sure whether the flames were going to spread. He'd already taken a lot of damage. He survived. It was the HE that took him down. Not as clean as he'd like, and this is starting to fall apart now. That pop dog has been a big talking point in this tournament. A lot of teams happy to fly up there on the CT side. Has left Navi in a 5-on-2 lead here in round number 4. Much better scenes. Frozen and Voxic at this point, all they can really do is either save the weapons and hold on for a minute. Let's see if they can cause financial damage. Nice work from Voxic there, 10 HP, but still, he brings one back. Bomb down, that's towards T-Spawn.
Voxic does cross over, but low HP, he goes back. Simple was certainly ready for the second shot. Don't give that man more opportunities than one. Even then, that's often too many. Frozen, he'll sneak back around. 32 seconds left, but 1 on 4. Don't think this is really a time issue at this point. Might want to consider that Krieg. Bomb plant would be decent for his team as well. Give them the max bonus plus the 800. It's not going to go that far. Neither of those things are possible. Round done. We look at Perfecto. Pretty serious looking guy.
Oh, he's getting the job done. Counter-Strike is a serious business, and Navi desperately need to hold on to these leads. They cannot let themselves be tempted into feeling too comfortable. We saw it against Godsend, had that 8-0 start, similar scenes to this, and looked fantastic. Everything was going great. Got a little overzealous and things started to fall apart. They need to maintain their focus here. This shot from Simple allows one player to get towards Olaf, and Electronic making up for it here. He'll go through the smoke. Nice work, but Carrigan's ready with the CZ, flaming for a couple towards Ivy. Looking safe once again here, 4 versus 2. Clean sheet so far for Navi. Robson, Voxic waiting for any more mistakes. No one has to push at this point. The round should be locked in. Let them commit towards the bomb sites, and speaking of the bomb, they have that on the back of Voxic right now. Rob's down towards Pop Dog. Fantastic Deagle user, but not sure he'll be able to find much here. There won't be many opportunities as the orb's given to Boomich, considering his low HP. No one has to explore. Just keep one passive player towards inside. That's Perfecto. It would be the best protocol here for mousesport if they want to get the bomb down. They didn't even have to trade out a kill. There's a chance he'll only get one, then he can just get that bomb planted, and that will be enough. So maybe one down towards lower ramp, take the aggro, jump out of the bomb towards upper. They have no flashes, and you can see Perfecto on the ladder right now. He won't be shooting from this position, but you can see lower and upper, and he can get a nice early call when they commit. So he's down spotted one, he'll react, throw the incendiary, try and deny the plant. I still think it will go down here. And considering this situation, Matt, that's enough. That's an extra $800 per player.
Oh my.
Maybe a little bit more here as Robs finds an opening.
Absolutely does. Goes forward, gets the F4. He's got a line up, a chance on a Simple. Damage is being done. This Deagle at the headshot position, and it's Flamey again. You're right, it could be a lot more than the 800. Simple tag down. They were all within one bullet. That was winnable.
It certainly was. If that kill comes in towards Connector, the low HP on the remaining 2 as well, could have been something to be said about that. So there it is. A little bit more than they bargained for, managing to get the bomb planted at least. That's all they needed, considering that was a partial investment of the Desert Eagles. They get a very healthy buy now going forward. Voxic will bring out the AWP. Krieg's out in full force. You see a lot of those on train. Brochet opting for the AK-47 instead. So you can see, kept relatively modest, a couple of players with Simple now, even with the AWP, still has $10,000. Flavey not far behind, and Simple might be going for an aggressive pick here. They're going to hold towards the lower ramp itself. He has got a bit of action coming in that direction, but it's going to be Voxic. Does he fire off a shot? Doesn't really want to let them know that he's got the orb towards Ivy here. Good flash, good grenade. A lot of damage towards Ivy now. Voxic boosted out, trying to see above the smoke. I don't think he'll get a challenge.
Kerrigan is in a perfect position. Should Boomich overextend? And he's actually staring it down. I say that because if the gun barrel was even an inch further forward, Kerrigan gets the advantage in that fight. Instead, though, Boomich, having cleared the angle and was satisfied in doing so, turned his attention the other direction. It now sits to the advantage of Navi. Again, 8-0 was the scoreline. Drops, don't flirt with Boomich in that position. 8-0 was the scoreline in the start they had against Godsent yesterday. And Godsent only had 4 kills in that time, and yet it went to 16-13. So watch for Navi to be a lot more disciplined today. They're going to have to be. Interestingly enough, if Navi do win
up the ladder again? Did he
yes,
do
he did, yeah. No real need of it, but sure.
I respect it, because you don't expect anyone to do that. Like that, it's a cool move, but that might cost them this round. But it's still looking pretty good. 25 seconds, only a couple of smokes left, and Flamey very confident in his approach with that CT AK-47. Electronic, he'll reposition towards Pop Dog.
Shots out from the AK. Flamey has Rops. Chris J and Rops, though, they each found a kill in that time. So Simple on top of the site. He's actually going to the deagle. That's not characteristic of him at all, but Voxic actually clips the shot, and Chris J gets in position to get the bomb down. They know Perfecto's got to be rotating around because he hasn't been playing on that side of the map too often. So Krieg for him, and he's up the ladder and away. This is the round gone. You're right. Starts with Boomich getting a little aggressive.
Did we say it was similar scenes to yesterday? So you got the opening pick.
Yeah.
And you've flown up the ladder and brought it back to a 4-on-4. Like I said, I respect it. Like, I'm not even mad about that, but it has cost them the round. As 3 players will survive here, Mousesports will dig themselves out of a grave. It's going to be the first on the board. 4 things got out of hand. They'll save the AWP and 2 rifles as well. Boomich had to work hard for that first kill as well, and that's fallen apart. Rops will take him down. And you're right, Simple going for the Desert Eagle there. Maybe trying to go for a flashier play, but maybe got the call they were low perhaps. But I felt like his position with the AWP, time remaining, 1 kill, jump back into cover, that would have been it. Even the way they approached with 2 players swinging, which is very smart by them, the AWP would have been good for 1, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. And keep an eye on Boomich as well. I mean, yesterday he was in that position a lot, and it was working so successfully. I don't blame him for it. But if he does get shut down a bunch today, we saw, for example, one particular round that they flashed over and were able to catch him in transition. What's his change? Because he certainly didn't or was reluctant to change on Inferno, and again, Dust 2 is the complete opposite, so I think it's map dependent. We'll see what else he has up his sleeve. We know as well that they've played the E-Box and had support, but that means Electronic has to come out to the front of the site, and then there's less going on toward Ivy. So there's always the compromise defensively. It's not like the maps are designed so it's easy to defend them. You have to have a plan, but it certainly is a key point of their defense to have him in that ladder room. So.
There we go. Smoke towards Sandwich, flashes out. Might be changing the pace here. This is what we talked about. Carrigan always gets himself towards Olaf. A grenade behind him, and he'll actually be battling towards Ivy here. We said Carrigan's been good at opening picks today. Unfortunately, Electronic 1 step ahead of him. Spray down towards the Hell position will yield the first frag. Rops might be exploring his options towards in and out. Simple.
I almost wonder if Carrigan was better off not to take that fight. Yes, he was spotted, but just run, just get the position at Hell, because then he forces them to have to move just by being there. Rops takes out, or rather, excuse me, Simple takes out Rops. So 2 already in the advantage of Navi. It went 8-1 yesterday after being 8-0, and then it went 9-1, and then the comeback was on. So see how mousesport fares in similar waters. Voxic still in the op. He's going to try and let Frozen go to work first, who's eager to bait out the player at the back tracks. It's not going to happen. Electronic's going to rotate away, and in fact, they know now, based on Boomich's communication, that there's a lot more going on toward Pop Dog also, so they can't give up anything at the back, or otherwise they'll have problems at the front. Simple. Rotating around, catches off Frozen. Becomes a much easier scenario now, and it's just Chris. Bomb in his hand, though. He can plant in this. He started that before the Molotov. In fact, Molotov's not going to reach him, and he might chase down and at least get one. Good start, aggressive, finds out Flamey, not done there, sees the play on the tracks, he's actually got Simple down. We know this guy can ace, we saw it in New York, he's got it into a 1-on-2, and he's actually sliding away. He's got another shot on Boomich. Is this guy up for the play of the decade already in 2020? He nearly got it in 2018. As Chris sneaks away, Electronic is found. He's baited him out. He's got the time in his favor. What an ace clutch this would be. He's got the bomb off the situation. And he's got Electronic down. Put it in for play of the year already. What a clutch from Chris.
Unbelievable scenes, Matt. Chris J in a 1-on-5 saves the day. It was unlosable for Navi. I don't even know how he gets the first kill, let alone 4 more. They run at him 1 by 1. He outpositions them, he outfires them. Look at him go. Perfecto gives the call, and then it just falls apart like a house of cards here. That was the shot that really got him into the round. A Simple goes down, and then Boomich detected. Electronic crumbles. And that is one for the history books. Amazing.
Chris is just like a team player. He's just become this stable mate. Look how calm he looks right now. Like, come on.
Yep.
That's okay. There's the laugh. That's a play players, like everyone that plays Counter-Strike dreams of.
Insane.
And he's become this stable player, this consistent team player, and then out of nowhere, same in New York with the op, and now with the AK here, he pulls off plays that you wouldn't see from Simple and Electronic. I mean, what is that?
How do you recover from that one? It was going so well.
Perfecto thought the Molotov was on him, by the way, which is why he was so aggressive. I think that gave Chris a lot of space.
In a 5-on-1, one dude going down, that's okay. But the fact that it spirals like that, they weren't expecting it, sure. But we talked about this. You can't rest in your laurels at this level of Counter-Strike. You can't take your eye off the prize for more than half a second. It can all fall out of control very quickly. Chris J, you're right. He's done that a few times in his career. I think that might be the best one yet. Oh, he did it. He's doing it at Pro League as well. Like, he bailed them out in the grand final 3 or 4 times.
Honestly, he might be one of the best clutch players we have, and it's completely undetected. So underrated in those situations. Unreal play. And Mouse desperately needed that. 2 in a row, so Navi gets silenced for now. They still have enough money left over, residual from their 5-round spree. They're able to force into this around Simple's AWP. That might light a fire for Simple. He's going to have to get on the board. He's going to have to start really making a difference.
A 5-on-1 clutch and a full buy round for Chris J. It could be the catalyst.
And it was a desperate plan. It was 5-on-1 post plan.
Yeah, it's like,
it wasn't even like he
money.
opened space
Got
and then
cash.
thought, I can do that. He actually just fully annihilated them.
Here we go. This is the round that breaks the back of Navi as well. They might not even want to go for this one considering the weaponry. More importantly, because they have the AWP, and then there's SMGs and FAMAS. I think they give this one up. And we have got Frozen chomping at the bit. We've talked about this before throughout this tournament, holding towards Ivy on the T side. You know you've got a guaranteed round here. You're going to get some frags. Where do they go, though? Trying to hold on to the little they have. FAMAS, MP9, and more importantly, the Simple AWP. It's had one amazing moment today. Not quite on level with Chris J, though. That was unspeakable.
It's the speed of that play as well. I mean, you think of the AWP shot. It was, I think, what, he took 6 shots, or was it all 5? Either way, you could clip it within a 20-second window. Yeah. He did the same thing here. We've seen 1v5s before, but usually they're long, they're drawn out. Both of his, I'm going to say his 2 best plays of his career, have been aces in the span of no time at all. It's how incredible when he gets in those situations. And he plays it so well. He plays every angle perfectly there.
He couldn't have done a better job. And you could see the pressure for Electronic when he's left in that sort of scenario as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a GG bet providing the odds. You can see them quite shifting. Even though they're behind right now, that round certainly had a knock-on effect, I think. It's just unbelievable. You can see Electronic's like, God, how have you left me in this scenario now? I have no information. I don't know where he is. He's just hitting every single shot. Oh, so good. That's what Counter-Strike's all about, those sort of moments. And here we go, Frozen, using this momentum. He will be carrying it forward. It's going to be Boomage Electronic removed. Simple still alive with the AWP. 6 kills to his name so far. He's going to need to increase that total. In round number 9 here, they're going to stand a chance. Bomb goes down. Not planted, it's been dropped on the floor, and Voxic offers himself up towards the backtrack. So at least they know where the AWP is now. So 35 seconds remaining. And Chris J with a long flank here. There is a bit of activity towards T-Spawn. Perfecto coming in from inside. You can see him aware of that. And just waiting for exit picks here. Oh, they were looking so good. 5-0 up. 5-4.
I'm just speechless.
Yeah.
The fact that Chris J, again, Happy's Deagle Ace, absolutely a deserved winner. There's many that were, but nearly had the play of the decade. When we rolled the year over, and now he's got one that I think absolutely will be in consideration in 10 years' time. That was just insane. And it's Chris. I mean, he's not a highlight. He's not a human highlight machine. He's not known for that.
Just every now and then, when they need it, when they're desperate, he reaches into the darkness and pulls out some magic. It's gonna shift the morale. Difficult to recover from this one. Such a gut punch. Money wrecked. Ecos, 4 spies, hasn't worked out. And now back to the gun rounds. Quick flashes outside to suggest they might be doing more of the same, sending Carrigan out towards Olof. This time he's actually not. So they're trying to force out utility. At the start of the round, you can see it's working. Lots of AGs dumped there. They're worried about that prospect. Taking control of Pop Dog, though. Boomage. I don't think we'll see him flying up the ladder anytime soon. Another run boost there. Mousesport's very good at these. Nailing it again. It's the left-hand side. The CT's on.
Thought he might get spotted there. It looked like there was going to be a full peek. He did actually clip Electronic. He's trying to bait that shot as well. He knows that Voxic likes to do that, and yet Voxic is still able to do a significant amount of damage. He is certainly an accurate man. One-round game. Perfecto holding the gap behind the train. Good little angle.
Yeah.
Headshot position, very tough to damage backwards because it's easy to put your crosser on the head and you could still clip one of those two train beams. It's that accurate. It's that small of a gap.
So an outside fake here. Two players smoking off towards the dark side. I'm going to be going towards Sunny, seeing whether they can break through as the opponents come through. You can see Rops showing his usual tendencies towards upper ramp. So they're going to reposition now, get the bomb down towards bottom. This kill is everything. Carrigan nails it again. Convincing play towards inside. Good rotation. It's a, oh, hello. Simple does take one down. 2-on-2. Tense environment right now.
You can still see Perfecto and his teammates are both trying. Oh, they didn't get it down in time.
They did not. It looked like they were just...
I thought they had it. I was going to talk over that because we had a second to get ready for the post plant. But yeah, the timing gone. They actually lose the round. They give it away.
Oh, I don't think... Well, we weren't keeping track of it. I guess they weren't either. It felt like it was all calm, plant the bomb, wait to see what happens.
Even when I saw the plant come in, I thought he had time. He must have just whiffed it by half a second.
Yeah.
That's actually significant because Navi keep the lead as a result of it. I was about to say, you can sell that Perfecto and his teammates haven't figured out how to play off of each other perfectly. He wanted to hold that lower angle. We talked about it. Very nice angle, but Flamey has to hold up. Or Flamey got one kill backed off. Perfecto still held. The communication wasn't quite there between the two of them, and he was left completely in the open with no defense.
Wow. We do find ourselves with a boost towards a pallet. Decent HE to chip away at the different players. A lot more than that, though, being presented as Chris J and Carrigan once again. Crack open the outside bomb side. Simple's in a lot of trouble here. Up on the bomb side, fully flashed. Down he goes. Might have been a bit of a disastrous finish in the previous round. Carrigan will at least get the information as to where Perfecto's position. So yes, they gave up the previous round. They win this, though. Everything's back in a good position. There it is. Mousesports, after Chris J's heroics, have found themselves back in the driving seat here in the third, a potentially final map of our best of 5 grand final. I would say they're the favorites coming into this one, judging by what they were doing towards the end of 2019, but you've got to respect Chris J. Like a map, it looked like, okay, this is getting out of control now. Navi have showed us they're very good on the CT side of train. This is taking the wind out of their sails, and then some. So, confident rounds. Carrigan and Chris J towards the outside bomb side just seem to be a formidable tag team duo. As Rob said at the end, a trained specialist. And that's what I wanted to break that last round down. It looked like they were going to be faking towards inner. So they dropped a couple of smokes there. Robs goes out by himself and you think, okay, it's just his usual thing. That's what he likes to do, but he had a teammate behind him. That was the selling point at that stage. That's when all the rotations come through. You see more than Robs towards upper ramp. That's when you know. They take the bomb down towards Pop Dog. They ran out of time, sure, towards the end, but it was a real nice, calculated approach. As we see round 12 come through, and Eco. Navi can win these, but it's not looking good. USPs, CZs, no armor, and the Russian side. Oh, maybe a couple of kills there. Electronic, does he get away? Oh, a perfecto. That's not bad. All right, 5 players committing towards that Brown Hall position, and they've gone down. Let's see Mousesports give up many rounds like this, but this isn't looking good at all. Frozen taking down a 51. Massive advantage for Navi here.
Carrigan back out again. He knows to take this angle. He knows to fight Boomich. Expected a reaction sooner and didn't want to oversit the mark when he put the shots in. Didn't get the kill right away. Had to look elsewhere. Needs to push up. Boomich is not going to re-peek that angle. He's not going to slide out, but they're going to keep going, keep marching. He's trying to bait both directions at this point. Burn the candle at both ends. Every shot toward Boomich, he knows he's going to bait a reaction from Sandwich. Every shot towards Sandwich, he's waiting for Boomich. But it's Simple that slides above instead. 3 versus 1. He can't cover them all. Boomich can. Simple down and out and finishing the round. It's Navi back into contention at 7-4. So again, that time becomes a factor because now money's going to be very limiting for Mousesports.
Now that's an interesting scenario. Inside push to the CZ. You know you've gone down to an Eco. Mousesports the one to blink this time. Navi back on track, entering the round 13 of train. Simple on the AWP. Full buy, of course, from mousesport still. Got 3 Kriegs, but this will be the round that breaks them. Deep incendiary towards the Olof position to deny access for Carrigan. Taking damage, though, Simple. 68 HP, this time playing towards Ivy, backing up Electronic. Carrigan knows he is vulnerable in this position. Gets an A down towards Ivy, doesn't quite do any damage, and a decent smoke as well. 2 players probing that side of the map. This looks good for Navi, though. Plenty of presence towards that side. 4 players there. Perfecto playing close range at the lower ramp. Still has all his utility. Can drop an incendiary, buy time for rotation, and the smoke as well.
Kerrigan, it's a very tight position to be in, and Simple and Boomich both putting damage into him. Make no mistake in taking him down. Electronic was sitting and sliding up Olaf the whole time as a result of that kill. We could see him underneath of Kerrigan, and he went undetected as a result. Frozen does at least catch off Flamey, trying to take back the site, so this will give them some ground to work with outside. I say that, though, but look where the bomb is. It's in the clutches of both Simple and Electronic, who swarm toward the A main entrance. Frozen, however, I'm surprised he's gotten this much ground. They don't even look. Oh, man, Electronic. That is good timing.
There was a chance there. An opening had been found, but Electronic checks it just before it becomes an issue. Round should be tied up at this point, but Rops and Chris J will give it their best, and we know what Chris J is capable of. Brings it back to a more realistic scenario. Smoke down and another frag. 2-on-2 here. Boomich overwhelmed potentially. Could have gone to the 1-on-1. Definitely not. He holds strong. The Krieg closes things out here. Starting to look a bit more comfortable now. Recovering from the disastrous 5-on-1. That's going to keep them up tonight, I think, especially if this is the map where it goes to 3-0. Slowing down mousesports. Might have to take the eco for the final round here. And indeed they will. Desert Eagles, a little bit of Kevlar there. Round 14 coming up. And with Navi, first map, they've actually won a pistol as well. Managed to get a 5-0 conversion from it. Should have been 6-0, but here we are.
Yeah, God had other ideas as well to give them a second one, man, oh, man. I was a little bit slow, Henry. I'm a bit rusty. The Wolf of Wall Street became the Lion in London.
That would have been good.
That was the one.
Yeah.
Either way, the play will stand on its own forever. That is a remarkable fact. That was just incredible. But they're still not out of the woods just yet. 8-5, they've got to secure a few more rounds in this half. You mentioned it is a CT-sided map still, but it depends on the matchup. And this is Mouse's pick, so what does that yield for their CT side? You know Navi's going to wake up into this series at some point. They're not going to let it go easily. 3-0 is... It doesn't matter if it's Astralis or Liquid. 3-0 is not a score you'd expect to see against them.
Definitely not. Again, Chris J alive. This was the eco, meaning they haven't invested any of their funds on the right-hand side of your screens. We have got some newer viewers out in the audience, so just bear with us. Just gotta let them know what we're up to.
I'm pretty new as well, so.
Yeah, you know.
Oh, Simple. That's fast. Good timing. Knew he had to check lower. Didn't have eyes on it, and he makes no mistake on Chris. 9 now for Navi and Simple. It's not flashy, but he's starting to be very consistent on that AWP.
That's all he has to be at this point. Guarantee these last couple of rounds. Keep them clean. Considered one of the greatest Counter-Strike players to ever touch the game. Needs to step up here if they're going to avoid this 3-0 deficit. There's Boomich, newly appointed in-game leader. Pressure's on now, looking for double digits. Up against 4 Kriegs and AK. They've tried to go inside before and were met by the CZ rushing in. The fact of hearing footsteps will be dropping an early incendiary. Smoke down as well. And looks likely to be an inside execution match. Just off the bat, knowing it's normally just an inside anchor. Smokes towards connector. Flash out, a few Molotovs in. Voxic to open things up from what we can see so far. Simple as that though.
And he finds the same shot onto Voxic twice on the entry. Flash to support Perfecto. He looks away. Good communication between the two. And you can see why Perfecto plays the Taz angle, but a double peek in return. And Simple's gone as well. That's both defenders at B. They've rotated with plenty of time for themselves, but this far limited. Smoke's down on the gaps as well. They're pushed off the bomb quite considerably. 6th round would be a remarkable feat for mousesport and exactly what they need to try and claw this back in the second half. Frozen has Boomich. That leaves us still in a 2-on-2, however, because a kill came in beforehand. Electronic Shadow deceives him.
I love this from Frozen. So well played. Robs to close things out as well. A very convincing finish there from mousesports. The defaults weren't working out for them. Like, it felt like Navi have got a real solid CT side. Sure, some horrible moments. The 5-on-1 will go down in everyone's mind, I think, for the next decade. And that was their entry into the game. They managed to scrape together 6 rounds. It's actually a pretty convincing half against Navi, especially losing the pistol as well. Bear that in mind. They had a 5-0 deficit to kick things off. But Navi looking solid. Like, they're bringing it together. They held themselves together as a team. Didn't crumble after that disastrous affair against Chris J. It happens once in a blue moon. And a very important pistol here. If mousesports can find this in their CT side, Navi will be under pressure. Here are the odds brought to you by GG.bet. mousesports still the favorites, but not by much. Inside rush.
They're 4-1 on pistols so
big
far.
nade.
That nade is absolutely massive, but Simple's around it and has Kerrigan down. Chris, I think, took damage from his teammate behind him as well on the stairs, so a bit of a trip over each other. Didn't need that at this point in time because he'd already taken 1 bullet from the front of the site. Simple spotted, but they still have to give him attention. They do, certainly. No attention deficit from Frozen as he goes back to spawn. Perfecto dancing on either side of upper. Just trying to make sure there's no flank. He's got to be so careful at this point. He's actually revealed himself. Goes to the lower ramp. Voxic has him. Shot back. Boomich at least with a chance. They both have 1 bullet to death. And he goes, oh, it deceives him. He went to the burst. He thought they were low. He thought he could get it. But that is why most players will never touch the burst Glock.
If he had the single fire on there, he's going to get the kill. 1 bullet in any general direction of that player is going to take him down. The burst fire can be a little bit erratic. It goes everywhere. It has a wide spread. And unless you're putting it down their throat, it really cannot work out for you sometimes. That was actually winnable as well. With the low time on the bomb, they both essentially had 1 HP as well as the burst fire that eludes him there. And that's going to be a big round for mousesports. Certainly going to be forced by him, though. The fact it comes down to the wire there with the bomb planted, that's why we talk about inside being so prevalent on the T-side pistols. They can buy up, but they haven't invested everything. Perfecto's dropped a Krieg. They've gone for Deagle armor around it. So still with around $1,000 per player, they've put all the responsibility on Simple. See what he can do here. This was the team, or at least the organization, that really made this a thing. On maps like Train as well, when they would lose the pistol, they just go, let's just get 1 Krieg with Simple. Let's see what this guy can do. Can he find his own opening? If we get the plant, that will pay off our debts. And sometimes he can just win the whole round by himself.
Frozen very patient, almost frozen in place with the MP9 as he sits stoic as bullets fly down from above. Gives him a bit of information. They haven't made a ton of noise, so we won't be able to count the feet heading over toward B. B, by the way, is very passively held right now by Chris. Scout for him. Top red. Certainly a capable scout player as well. He is a super well-rounded player. Zipix and Chris J. I'd have either of them in my team.
Flamey, though. That's a nice shot with the Desert Eagle. A chance here, but that's the rifle being removed. Need to get that bomb planted. Perfecto taking care of that. He has to recover it, actually, from the lower ramp. Need to get a quick plant here to stand a chance. Boom it. Nice shot, but essentially now a 3 versus 1, and it's not going to work out for them. That wasn't the force buy, bear in mind. They just had 1 rifle, a few deagles. They can still buy up into this round. I don't think they'll have the AWP. mousesports looking to tie things up at 9-9 here. See if that's possible. Chance to catch their breath. I'd say this would be an opportune moment to take a tactical timeout. Chips it down, but we get straight into the action. You can see Voxic with a UMP. FAMAS out as well. A little bit of residual cash, not a boatload of it. And Perfecto, the one with the Desert Eagle. He dropped the Krieg before. I like this. You can see Voxic listening out for sound cues, denies the rush, and it's going to be flashed around the corner here. Doesn't really have the weapon to make that work. Maybe a little bit too wide on the swing there.
I wouldn't argue against that. Electronic does need to be aware that there's more possibility. Good lineup. Actually had the crosshair already placed, aimed with his strafe keys. Certainly a tactic that speeds things up if you can get the lineup accurately done. Kerrigan's going to try and redeem things by going aggressive toward a main, but Aim way off, and Perfecto gets it with a deagle. So Mouse, we're in a bit of a bonus situation, but now they've got a choice to make. Frozen does still possess, at this time, at least a Krieg, which you'd want to carry as long as you can on the CT side. So what is the call going to be? Does he try and just stay out of the action, keep his head down, concede this round to Navi and go 10-8 with that gun still in their hands? Or do they try and get back into it? I suppose Chris has inspired them to say anything is possible. Perfecto tagged. Simple. Robs was so blind. Still gets more, and they know where Frozen is. Well, now he might get away. Yeah, well, that's one thing to suggest. Frozen with a second kill. Bomb's not planted.
Oh,
he's going to go, but he's got to reload. He's left in the open. Simple was there, and thankfully, because if that came down to an isolated situation, that Krieg could have punished.
Oh, they know how close that was. You got to be careful. You could slow things down. There's no rush. No one has to find the kill. I think that's what Blade's saying right now. It's just like, boys, we really need to reel it in. You're finding amazing opening picks. You're such talented players, but you're almost playing yourself to points. Let's see what can be done now. A chance for everyone to catch their breath. Do they want to buy into this round? mousesport being tested to the best of their ability here, looking for a 3-0, but Navi, I'd say this is one of their better maps, maybe their best map considering what we saw against Godsend. Slight caveat to that, they had the 8-0 start, got kind of, what was the phrase we were using the other day? The
positive tilt?
Positive tilt coming in kind of really affected them, but I feel like their CT side on train is super solid. They just need to keep the mental fortitude there and not get carried away. So full eco, not really much to report. mousesport's going to stack inside. There's a nice smoke there thrown from T-Spawn that lands in the connector. That's really powerful. So versatile, you can do so much with it, especially if you're descending in a Mach 10. Here we go then. This is going to be Boomage. Take his vision away from up. Just trying to keep these players, if they are stacked towards inside, it will hold them there.
Kerrigan backs off. Electronic will try and force the issue with Frozen, but he's actually got it too far to the right. Either way, he gets out toward Hell, his teammate already there. Thinking swing old bomb, they're gonna need to, never mind. No, they aren't. Boomich has other plans, he'll just kill Kerrigan when he walks to him instead. Boost up ticket. Electronic's gonna see this if his teammates on top of the bomb don't first, and they've already pushed Boxic off the situation. It'll be 11 now for Navi. Still 4 alive. I know it seems crazy to call it that early, but there's no chance and no point in giving away guns at this stage in the round either. And Mach 10 for Simple can certainly farm frags. The others not really holding on to it. I think it's not the big deal. In fact, zero investment at all, but why give more away than you need to?
Exactly that. Need to present a disciplined game plan at this point. Navi will be in the lead. This was the full eco though, bear in mind. mousesports don't gain or lose anything for surviving on the CT side post-explosion. If there's any exit kills, that'd be great. So that blast might actually give them the AK. They're going to wait till the last second to try and grab it. Oh, a couple of kills there. So expensive towards the end, and an AK was found. So that was actually very well done. They don't win the round. They don't get close to winning the round, but they leave with, I think, a single AK. They got a couple of kills. Take some money out of the pockets of Navi there. It's still a frustrating way to finish things off. Let's get into the next one. This is where we'll see if Navi can start to resurrect this series. We need to win 2 more maps after this one. Flashbang. Bounced off towards lower ramp. Kerrigan now. Aggressive, of course. Going for a double. He fancies it. He scampers away, though. Lovely work from Kerrigan. Using that Mach 10 save, to save an AK and a Mach 10. You'd normally say, oh, they won't even use the Mach 10 in this gun round, but Kerrigan realizes there was an opportunity there, and he actually upgrades to a Krieg as well. 5 on 4. Great start. Money in the bank, and gun in hand.
Chris, aware that the flames are going above his head, he's going to just keep it low. I'm not sure he's aware that one player's already gone by. Boomich nearly spotted him. He suspects that he's up there. Okay. Did he? I don't know. When he goes up this ramp with the smoke still down, he actually gray screens. That is, I was going to say almost the most luck Chris has had this game, and that's saying something considering a 1v5. That was all skill. But it was just enough to be spotted and taken down in return, and despite knowing that they're so far forward, Rops gets Simple back. Still on a 3-on-3. Boomic is on the high side. How's he just dancing around them at this point in time?
The bomb's main entrance, though. So, yes, it's very good. He'll get another kill for sure. Rops goes down, and 30 seconds remaining towards Pop Dog. And Flamey, has he been spotted?
Yeah, he was. Voxic just barely. He was running,
kill.
But he was just far enough to be not audible. If he was audible, there's no way he even gets a chance at that peak. The gun's already turned on to him. You're right. That's almost unfortunate. The fake actually cost them because it put the bomb in the line of fire, and Boomic has to go back one-on-one. Voxic to hold. Knows he's coming from Pop Dog. 12 seconds. No mistake on the shots, and it's 11-9.
Big plays from Boomic, like respect for actually getting towards inside, sneaking through all the way to connector. Nice one shot, just dancing around the bomb side. They had no idea what's going on, but his teammates weren't really synergizing with him so well. The bomb goes down. He's left in a 2 versus 1. There's a great job of baiting out the sound cues to take down Frozen, but ultimately it's Voxy there. He had the bomb, and he doesn't miss many shots of that AWP, especially when he knows where you're coming from. Even if he missed it, he probably still wins around, considering there's like 10 seconds remaining. So there we go, big pickup. It all started with Carrigan. Mac 10 push towards main entrance. He can make any gun work, it seems. Looks to be a tactical timeout, which it will be. Here we go then. Boomic with 21 frags, Simple with 20, Electronic 13, Perfecto 6, which could be a little bit misleading because he's the inside player. On the CT side, you don't get a ton of frags, but you are expected to clutch in that role.
Yeah, absolutely. There's still an obligation.
We'll see what can be done with this force buy, a very important one.
Double op setup as well. Chris is going to be the one on it.
Well, this has to be a set-piece execution at this stage. When you've got this sort of buy, you need to do what we saw in the last round from mousesport. You need like a full inside execution. Get the Mac 10s in first. They're the ones pushing right down and giving you space while your rifle's set up, get the bomb planted, and they hopefully win the round out. This setup, a bit of a classic. You have the all watching towards upper, M4 watching the lower ramp. It's pretty safe. Like, it's an unorthodox one, but it works very effectively. Difficult to rotate, but we'll see. And this is where Chris J will find the first pick.
The op potential this team has with Kerrigan as well. I mean, the double op is just so prevalent. And Chris, remember the Wolf of Wall Street? It wasn't even the op he bought. He picked that up off of a dead teammate to make that play.
Flamey spotted him.
Flamey did spot him. He knows he's tagged, though, so he actually goes almost a bit like a moth to a flame in that situation. Kerrigan will get Boomic back. The ground is in favor. Oh, I was going to say that. The bomb down, though. I was going to say in favor of the teams because look how far forward Electronic is. He still makes it work. They'll recover the bomb. Are they aware of the fast flank potential? Frozen starting to head toward the ladder. Bomb will be conceded. And they planted safe side of the train, so that tells me they might be aware of the fact that Frozen is trying to do so. Voxic's gone. They're actually going to save. Force buy works.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's Electronic that has to take matters into his own hands. We talked about getting down there, stopping the transitioning CTs from spawn and, more importantly, connector. He had a lovely little sequence with the AK, one of the few rifles they had. And it is going to be Navi making this round work. Electronic hunting towards the end. He's going to find Frozen almost certainly here. You can see he's aware of the prospect of upper, but he's going to go down any second now. There it is. Electronic in position, will survive the blast as well. Voxic saves an AWP, but money is shattered on the CT side. A few fist bumps coming through now, starting to feel like they could take this map. mousesport starting to shrink. Has to be the eco here, really. They've got an orb, and they're going for the force buy. See if they can give Navi a taste of their own medicine. So Deagles, CZ, Voxic, he actually thrives in these sort of high-pressure situations. He seems to really step up when he has to. Let's see what he can be done. Boomic out quickly with the Mac 10. He's gathering information here. He can go through smokes. He can be a nuisance.
Kerrigan trying to fight aggressively. Boomic, though, was already out behind, surprising him with the MP9 as he turned around and realized he had nowhere to hide from the attack. Simple still patiently waiting for an opportunity. Voxic, a single op. As they continue to take the yard around him, he becomes less and less safe. He's spotted now as well. It's not like he can just sit in the corner and wait it out. Hit Perfecto, but needs to get away. He's not done fighting. Give him credits, but Simple's had enough of that.
He silences the AWP of Voxic and presumably confirms the round. Desert Eagle is all that remains. It's 13-9 here. Still the CD side of train, but this was a full investment map that they have to eco next round. 39 down, going to be 14 very quickly.
Oops. But the Deagle starts to work away just to stay alive. Exit kill and a gun would be something to work with, but Navi in 13-9 look like they might finally get a map in this series.
Yeah, it's looking incredibly likely at this stage. Lots of money. Just broken them down to a full eco in the next round. Touching distance of taking their first map. You can see in the top right of your screens will be Nuke next. Mirage if required. This is looking like a bit of a lock-in for Navi now. Mouse will just have nothing in this next round. Have to take the full eco. Deagle for Rops. See Voxic still in single digits. It's surprising.
Yeah, that is.
He saw a few missed shots in the previous round, but that was him with just the
Perfecto, just an out only on 6.
Yeah. So a tactical timeout. I would assume it's called by mousesport to see whether they can do anything with this at all. 10 scenes here. Navi desperately need the map. Do not want to crash out 3-0. But it's looking very good for them at the moment. Not too much chatter going on, so it could be a little bit of a technical issue here. We'll see what's happening. We're back into the action. So like I said, pretty much full eco. Rops will get Deagle armor, but that's about it. 3 USPs and a P2000 for Voxic. He's got enough for the AWP next round. It'll have to be a perfect game at this point for Mousesports to avoid giving this one up. Nice spawn from Perfecto, gets him his 7th kill.
Slides out, he's gonna add to that as well, finds Voxic with a flash.
Nice.
He's onto it now, it seems that's always the way we call someone out and then they arrive. 3 kills, yes, they're pretty straightforward eco kills, but when you're sitting on only 6, you'll take what you can get. That'll put him up and equal with Voxic on the other side. 2 rounds to go.
So, I dare say they would take another tactical pause. You can see Raging being very articulate over there, so I feel like that's happened. He wants to discuss their CD setup, what's happening, what's going wrong. The problem is now, a team like Navi, who do enjoy a looser style, if they get good spawns and the buffer they have and the amount of cash they currently have in the reserves, I feel like they can just close this one out with some individual greatness here. Shouldn't take anything too tactical. Very close to finding a couple of rounds. Electronics looking sharp. It's 14-9, but a gun round for Mousesports after giving up 3 rounds in a row. Let's see what happens here. Remember, Mousesports did win the pistol in the second half and the second round follow-up. Those rounds 3 and 4 where it started to go wrong for them. Haven't really recovered since. Chris J just on a Desert Eagle. It was enough on Inferno on the CT side to win a round.
Oh, Voxic, good start. That's why it's surprising that his kill totals are so low, because when we do go to him, it seems like he's snapping and nailing a shot.
Yeah.
Just about every time. He gets Electronic down very early in the round. That's what Mousesports needed. Maybe they needed more of it. Maybe that is the weak link right now, the AWP. Chris J, Deagle. He's going to get Flamey down. Romps will add to that. Boomage falls as well. So, fantastic start to the round. Frozen is very tempted to go up the green ladder at Pop Dog. But upstairs is a problem. Simple would be waiting with the Deagle, staring him down. And Perfecto is not far off with an AK either.
1 minute on the clock. And we had a 5-on-1 before. This is one step better. We're going to see Simple joined by Perfecto. They still have a bit of utility here. Every kill they can get will be valuable. You can see the money fully invested on the CT side. They need to keep everyone alive. They started off with a Chris J. Deagle. He now found the AK. They've got a smoke for a lower ramp. Might as well give it a little go here. You've got so much money. If they end up getting 2 or 3 kills on a plant, that's worth it. Simple, though, has to get past Frozen. Not the most ideal weapon to do so, but of course he just makes that work.
He was ready. He knew what he wanted to do. Pre-aimed, pre-set.
It's dunked on him. And the flashbang comes over. This is where things could unravel for mousesport. There's a good chance they can win this.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting that, though. Chris to be up close. Rops gets the other kill in the meantime, and we're into the double digits, at least on the mousesport side.
Well held. After that simple shot, you could feel he may be onto something there. But
that's what gets him started, right?
Yeah,
he gets
exactly.
one magical kill, and all of a sudden he just goes off. Any point, as we've seen, not only on Dust 2, but in Chris, epitomizing that in a single round. Double op setup again. It's going to be Chris and Voxic that have it, and Voxic's going to go aggressive toward Ivy.
I actually like that call a lot. I feel like that could be the savior here. A Chris J AWP on train is always very exciting. He spotted the barrel there, Voxic as well, but Carrigan gets the first frag. He is an excellent main player, but there is one towards Olaf already. Electronic.
Yesterday, this was huge. He got in here yesterday, and it really hurt Godsent in the second half. They were not aware. He walked around and got 3 kills.
That's right.
Because they had no idea he was in that position. So Simple's already covering off the right side for him. He could do the same. Voxic has stopped watching Ivy.
Carrigan, though, his position suggests he might want to check it, but now Electronic making his move. Oh, I think
Voxic knows.
Oh, yeah, okay, he does.
There's no action at Ivy, so he kept his eyes that direction.
One more player towards Ivy. That's going to be Boomage, though. So you can see him looking at him, and then the shot's fired. He'll survive. Didn't even take any damage. That's okay. Still a 5-on-3. Carrigan to open things up, and Simple trying to find a gap in the smoke. See if you can see a shadow. Any telltale signs would do at this point. Double digits for Mouse. Currently in the 5-on-3 with 50 seconds remaining. Navi have 1 smoke, a couple of flashes. And not many options, I'm afraid. Simple would have to get them an opening. Boomage and Flamey will focus their efforts. Maybe a totem drop here towards Pop Dog, but an incendiary.
Yeah, well, don't go now.
Yeah, we'll buy you some time, and he can smoke on top of that just after as well. Definitely smoke him.
Oh, he's late! That is such a great predictive play by Flamey.
Love it.
And Navi, because they expected this smoke. There's only going to be a slight amount of time in which they would take little damage and get down there before the smoke, but it doesn't matter. Mousesports get back into position. They catch them getting out, and they still get away with the round.
Yeah, I love that. It was a great idea from both sides there. Frozen, he's just trying to run the clock down, make sure that he denies access. He did it perfectly, but maybe he wanted to throw the snake a second before. Navi read it well, as you said. Drop into the flames, but just as they're about to be extinguished, and at that point they get the opening kill, but it didn't mean a massive amount. Here are the odds provided by GG.bet on our 3rd map. Includes overtime. We're going to have favorites of Navi still, considering the scoreline, but their money now starting to be depleted. Voxic looking for the quick play towards Ivy. Most players will jump up on the dumpster. Boomage looking to set up his teammate for a peek. Flashbang comes in, and it goes behind Carrigan, but still overwhelmed. Same story maybe for Voxic. Yeah, has to try and get out. Opening pick now.
Yeah, Voxic thought he could actually beat that flash, but he might have been better off sitting back because then he could have repeaked it and perhaps saved or at least traded Carrigan. Navi still looking for the elusive map points. Gone away from them 2 rounds in a row. Perfecto. Inside of the A main hall. No one pushing against it yet. Voxic's going to give up Ivy for now and get a little bit closer toward A main. Electronic will work in that position as he leaves the smoke down. So Electronic this time, not lurking from Sandwich, might still be able to do a similar thing with no defense in front of him. And Frozen has to be so careful. That smoke's late, but a flash was not. You can see the hands covering their faces. They had limited vision, and Frozen somehow finds 3 when he ultimately shouldn't have. Simple gets it back, but it's Simple and Electronic to clutch against Rops and Chris J. And Rops in an unlikely position. Now, as soon as that glass breaks in front of him, it reveals the position, reveals the angle, and they'll look there. So he needs to have a clean first kill.
It has felt like that smoke was never going to bloom towards main entrance. Frozen just about survives long enough as the bomb will be planted in a safe spot. It's going to bait out Rops here. Has to nail that first kill. Simple left the AWP. We know he hits these shots, nails it. He's going to get another one, surely. He now knows exactly where Rops is. As he bides his time, he has got the orb. It's Chris J that goes down. HP not so much of a factor here, but he knows he's already hit him here. Simple, he's been quiet so far. Can he get the map point? He certainly can. That's what it's all about. Round 15 on the board for Navi.
And Simple finally getting a clutch. He's been close in many occasions, ultimately when he shouldn't have been, but that one just enough to give them the 15th. The repeat, you're right, he knew he hit him, but he still had to close it. Didn't go to the pistol. Simple never would he? He has to do it the proper way.
You could see a look of Dejection there on Carrigan's face. They're going to have to buy. They'll take a pause. They're going to take 4 rounds in a row cleanly. So that's to take us to overtime. That was as good a chance of any to ruin the finances of Navi. You're in a 2-on-1. Unfortunately for them, Simple, well too aware, one of the world's best. Absolutely rails Chris J at the back of the old bomb train. Tactical timeout. They want to close this out cleanly. Don't want to give anything away. Blade will be tracking the money. He knows they'll be low. I saw a scout purchased. An effective weapon, but a difficult round nonetheless. They can get this, and the follow-up round, that will break the money. They've got a good chance of getting to overtime, but no point even considering that right now. They've got a very tall order in front of them. And what's the final complexion of the buy? One for mass, a couple of rifles. There's a Chris J or Electronic. Surely an opening kill here. Wildly sprays off towards main, and Chris J will be dropped. Carrigan down to just 3 points of health. This should be it.
Electronic trying to go for that same play. In through Olaf, out sandwich, walk to E-box. Smoke's down, they suspect his presence, but the smokes might mean he gets in far enough. He certainly does. Frozen has no idea. Carrigan gets one back. But that's all they get so far, and they're caught off by a late lurking Boomich coming in from Ivy. Navi back in the series. Doesn't take much to give them a chance. We go to Nuke next. Now, I did think that was Mousesport's best chance, but Navi, the way they're playing, depending on the half, depending on the start they get, if they get CT, we might be on for Mirage even still. But we, either way, are getting treated to a series we expected, a very close affair between both teams.
Let's see. 2-on-2 still, plenty of time. Robs in towards the break room. Don't see many CTs in this position. Makes his way towards main entrance. They have snuck through towards Olaf. He currently resides in T-spawn. He has no idea if he can commit to this. They could be held up, waiting for flanks. Smokes and flashes go over now. This looks like the commitment. Carrigan low HP, trying to get some into under the train.
Those flashes are the reason Rob starts to go, because he knows that means their attention is inside of the site. 27 seconds.
Plant now.
Still hesitant because there's no action on top of the train. I think at this point you almost allow them to plant. You concede it. Carrigan can't be aggressive is the problem. Only 3. No trigger discipline, just wants the kill. Bomb still gets planted. It's Simple and another 1-on-2. And another player on red HP to try and shut it down. Good movement mechanics. Simple gets on top of Ticket. He knows they have to go for the bomb. Not planted for him, but he'll have the awareness. You'd expect Rops is going to check it.
Oh!
Simple hits that. He actually reads it, and Carrigan.
No!
Simple's got that as well.
He's back.
He's in it. This series is on. You do not give Simple time to wake up.